I want you to think about what you are actually reaching for when you chase abundance. Really think about it this time, not just the surface answer but what sits underneath it. Usually we say money, freedom, peace, security, love. Those are all words on a list, but they point toward something deeper than any of them. They point toward relief. Relief from the tightness in your chest when you look at your bank account. Relief from the quiet fear that you will never have enough. Relief from the shame of feeling like you are always one step behind. And that is why the chase does not work, because what you are chasing is not actually abundance, but absence. Absence is what you are running toward, and every time you think you get close, it slips away again because absence cannot be caught by something that runs after it. Let me ask you another question. What happens when a person chases? They become tense. They become desperate. They become someone who needs rather than someone who has. And the universe responds not to what you want but to who you are in relation to it. When you chase abundance, your body is sending out signals that say, I lack. Your nervous system is broadcasting desperation. Your entire being is vibrating at the frequency of shortage. Now ask yourself if a magnet that says I lack can attract something abundant, because attraction is not about desire or effort or even intention. Attraction is about resonance, and what you are resonating with while you chase abundance is absence itself. Most people do not realize this until they have chased something for years and gotten nowhere. They think the problem is their strategy, so they learn a new tactic, then another tactic, then a system, then an app, then a course that tells them to visualize $1 million every morning while standing on one foot. And still nothing shifts, because no amount of tactical brilliance can fix a relational problem. You cannot solve the fact that you are chasing by running faster toward the same thing. The opposite approach sounds almost insulting at first because it is so simple, but let me explain why it works, and then we will talk about how to actually do it without turning it into another form of striving. Abundance does not respond to pursuit. Abundance responds to presence. It responds to you becoming someone who lives from the space where abundance already exists rather than chasing toward a version of yourself that might one day have it. This is not woo, this is physics and psychology combined, the way attention works, the way identity shapes behavior, the way energy moves through nervous systems. When you stop chasing, you do two things at once. You stop looking outside for proof that something will come to save you from lack. And you start noticing what abundance actually looks like in your life right now, because it is already here and you just cannot see it when you are running toward tomorrow. Think about someone who is wealthy, not because they have millions but because their relationship with money has fundamentally changed. They do not feel the tightness when bills arrive. They do not feel panic when opportunities come or go. They do not measure their worth by their bank balance. This person may have less in the account than you, but they are more abundant than most people who chase abundance every single day. So how does someone actually do this? How does a person stop chasing and start being? It starts with noticing where you are already present. Right now, in this moment, what is true that requires no effort to maintain? Your breath is there. Some small kindness happened today. You have the ability to notice right now. These things were never chased. They simply appeared because you stopped running long enough for them to show up. When you extend that noticing into your relationship with abundance itself, something shifts. You begin to see how much of it is already here rather than always waiting around the corner. The practice itself is not complicated, even though we like to overcomplicate things when they sound too simple. It begins with a question. What would I be doing right now if abundance were my natural state? Not someday, not after I get this promotion or lose 10 pounds or find the perfect partner. Right now, in this version of me who already has it. And then you do that thing. You think differently about your work. You spend money without the tightness. You receive compliments without deflecting them. You take up space without apologizing for existing. You are not pretending to be someone else. You are simply allowing yourself to inhabit the version of you that lives from abundance rather than chasing it. This is where most people get stuck, because they turn becoming into another goal, and then they chase abundance by trying to become abundant, which keeps them in exactly the same position under a different name. The difference between practicing presence and chasing transformation is subtle, but it matters entirely. When you practice presence, you are not trying to reach anything. You are simply arriving at what is already here. When you chase transformation, you are still running towards something that does not exist yet, just wearing new clothes. The reason letting go of the chase feels so dangerous is because we have been taught that effort equals worth and that if we stop striving then everything will fall apart. But look around at how much energy you spend trying to control what comes and goes. Look at how exhausted you are from performing your way into a version of life that might never arrive. Abundance does not require more effort. Abundance requires less resistance. You do not need to push abundance toward yourself when it is already flowing through everything you touch. You just need to stop building dams around it with your fear and your scarcity thinking and your constant need to prove something. There are practical ways this shows up in daily life that might surprise you because they sound so ordinary. When someone offers help, you let them instead of insisting you can handle everything alone. When money comes, you receive it without immediately wondering what you did wrong or how long until it leaves. When an opportunity arrives, you step toward it from curiosity rather than desperation. When things go wrong, you notice the panic rising and breathe through it instead of letting it dictate your next move. None of these require extraordinary effort. They only require that you stop chasing and start receiving, which is a completely different posture entirely. And here is what happens when you actually live this way for any period of time. People around you begin to treat you differently because your energy has shifted. Opportunities show up without you looking for them. Money flows more easily because you are no longer holding it at arm's length with your nervous system. Relationships deepen because you are present rather than performing. You notice that the very things you were chasing have been trying to find you this whole time, but they could only reach you when you stopped running in the other direction. The final thing I want you to understand is that abundance was never something outside of yourself, waiting for you to become worthy enough to receive it. It has always been your natural state. The way a forest knows how to grow without chasing, how rain finds its way down mountainsides, how sunlight reaches the earth every single day without anyone having to negotiate with it or prove their worthiness first. You are not separate from abundance. You are a form of it. The chase only existed because someone told you otherwise at some point in your life and you believed them long enough to forget what was always true about you. So the real question is not how to manifest more abundance, but how to stop forgetting that you already live inside it. How to notice when you are chasing instead of receiving. How to let go of one more thing today, because letting go does not mean giving up. It means finally arriving where you have been trying to reach for years without realizing you had already arrived. The chase was the only thing standing between you and what was always yours, and now you know that it is over. I hope you found some value from today's video and have a fantastic day.